Ouch is right. California, they just got smacked with a brutal dose of reality. So Governor Gavin Newsom, who once bragged about leading the nation with his so-called progressive blueprint, just stood behind a podium and admitted what we all knew was coming. His policies failed. Flat out failure. And guess who's paying the price? You are. Well, guys, it's Friday, May 16th. Happy Friday, everyone. Drop me a quick happy Friday in the comments down below. Guys, that's just one part of the political whiplash, though. There's a lot more to this. Because just as Gavin Newsom was blaming everybody but himself, including, yes, Donald Trump, the president, the Trump team flipped the entire script with a stunning new Social Security bill that could put $4,000 back into the pockets of seniors starting this year. I know it's wild, but imagine going from giving free healthcare to illegal immigrants to now forcing them to pay premiums while everyday Americans, especially our seniors, are finally seeing relief under President Trump's plan. The contrast is beyond belief, guys. And yes, the numbers are real, though. The numbers are real. So what exactly did Gavin Newsom admit? Well, we're going to talk about that. We are going to talk about that for sure. What part of Trump's bill just shocked even the critics? And why is this being called the biggest economic flip since the pandemic? Well, stick with me, guys, because in the next few minutes, we're going to be breaking down every jaw-dropping moment from this massive shift. And you're going to want to hear what's coming next. I'll just tell you that. So just months ago, Gavin Newsom, California Governor Gavin Newsom, he stood proudly before cameras claiming California had a $363 million surplus for 2025. The headlines called it proof that his so-called progressive policies were working. But now, in a jaw-dropping reversal, Newsom just admitted that the number was, in his words, significantly off. What in the world? He said, we estimated a balanced budget. That estimate was off. Instead of a $363 million surplus, we're now projecting a $16 billion shortfall. How do you, that's like saying, guys, is Gavin Newsom on something? Is like, what's wrong with this guy? That's like, guys, this would be the comparison of saying, hey, I thought I had $360 in my bank account. Turns out I actually have negative $300,000 in my bank account. That's almost the equivalent of what's happening here. $16 billion gone in months. And here's the kicker. He actually tried to blame it on President Trump. What is going on here, guys? If you think Gavin Newsom is just the worst shyster in the world, let me know. That's right, guys. Gavin Newsom ended up blaming President Trump. Newsom claimed that changes in federal policy under Trump's return disrupted California's revenue. But let's be honest, does that even make sense when you look at the state's reckless spending? But if you thought that was embarrassing, wait till you hear what Gavin Newsom had to say about his signature healthcare program for illegal immigrants, guys. Yeah. So let's rewind just a little bit. Let's go back to 2022 for a second, okay? At the peak of his political swagger, Gavin Newsom, he threw a party, not just metaphorically, but literally, for becoming the first governor in the country to pass universal health care for all, including undocumented immigrants. Now, he even pitched it as the future of the Democratic Party. Drop me a comment, yes or no. Do you think undocumented immigrants or illegal immigrants should be getting free U.S. health care paid for by American taxpayers? Just a yes or no on that one, guys. So Gavin Newsom, he ignored every single red flag, even from moderate Democrats who called the bill fiscally unsustainable. Even Democrats called him out. They warned him, Governor, we can't afford this. But Gavin Newsom, riding the high of pandemic era power and the 2024 ambitions, he went ahead and pushed it through anyway. And now, after just 1 year of implementation, Newsom is now walking it back real fast. So how did the California dream turn into a nightmare so fast? How did Gavin Newsom's healthcare plan for undocumented immigrants, how is it? First of all, how did he even bypass everyone? Like, that should be illegal, right? Well, I'm going to show you guys a shocking difference. I'm going to show you the shocking contrast. While Gavin Newsom was breaking the bank, Trump was quietly preparing a bill that puts thousands of dollars back into your pocket. You're not going to want to miss the moment that Trump's team dropped that $4,000 surprise that has a lot of seniors cheering from coast to coast. So, you've turned 65. You're staring at a mountain of Medicare choices, and you're wondering to yourself, hey, how am I supposed to figure this out? That's exactly why Chapter exists, guys. They help people, real people like Julie in Kansas, who saved $400 in just a year. Jamie in Texas, who saw $600 in savings. Chapter's founders built their company after their own families got some bad advice. And now they're making sure it doesn't continue to happen. There's no stress. It's free. There's no charge. Just smart, good people, kind people who compare every single plan out there to find out what's best for you. Give our friends over at Chapter a call right now, 909-563-8279, or you can visit them online, which is probably easier, at askchapter.org/Ron. Your future self will thank you. I'll leave a link for Chapter in the description down below this video, probably in a pinned comment as well. So here's the thing, guys. And here's where it gets even more humiliating for Gavin Newsom. Remember that universal health care for all promise that he made back in 2022? Well, he just pulled the plug. Starting in 2026, California will freeze enrollment in Medi-Cal for undocumented immigrants. And if you're already enrolled, you'll be forced to pay a $100 a month, and you'll be forced to pay $100 a month in premiums starting 2027. So how many of you guys will be pissed off if you got a sudden, unexpected extra $100 per month bill from Gavin Newsom? Would anybody be pissed off about that? Or am I the only one? So after spending millions of your taxpayer dollars giving away free benefits to non-citizens, he's now making them pay. But guess who's still cleaning up the bill? Guess who's left still cleaning up this mess here? The working class Californians who were footing the bill to begin with. And where do you see how this financial train wreck ties into Gavin Newsom's presidential ambitions and how this completely backfired in his face? So let's just go ahead and call it what it is. It's ideological addiction over fiscal common sense. Gavin Newsom wasn't budgeting for California. He was auditioning for the national stage. Remember, he wants to be president, guys. If he screws up California to this extent, can you imagine what he would do to the United States of America, guys? He could be worse than Kamala Harris. He wanted to prove he could out-left even Bernie Sanders. Can you? Whew. Guys, that's why he rushed emergency orders. He shut down beaches. He banned park access and funneled billions of dollars into bloated welfare programs. But, here's a piece of that hubris, a collapse in public trust, exploding debt, and a complete betrayal of the very people he claimed to serve. Guys, and while Gavin Newsom was busy playing Emperor of California, Trump was in the background doing something that nobody saw coming. He was drafting a bill that would put real money back into the hands of seniors. So what's exactly inside of Trump's one big beautiful bill? Why are they calling it this game changer for middle America? And how could this $4,000 deduction rock the Social Security system in the best way possible? Well, of course, we're going to talk about that. So while California is basically burning through taxpayer dollars like fireworks on the 4th of July, something massive was happening in Washington. House Republicans just unveiled a 389-page beast of a bill. Unofficial, or technically it's officially titled the One Big Beautiful Bill. And yes, that is its real name. Why? Because it delivers almost everything Trump promised and more. Well, this isn't just another bill buried in committee. This is actually a full-blown economic reset. It starts targeting working families, small businesses, and yes, Social Security recipients. Comment down below if you're receiving Social Security. Just let me know, guys. Let me know if you're receiving SSI or SSDI. But the biggest shock of all, a Social Security provision that nobody saw coming. And it's already being called the most aggressive senior tax relief in generations. So what exactly is it? Who qualifies? I want to talk to you guys about the numbers and how much you might save right now. So here it is, guys. The part that has seniors absolutely lighting up the comment section. And let me know if you're in support of this or if you're against it or however you feel on this. I want to hear from you. Instead of eliminating the tax on Social Security income entirely, the bill does something some people are saying is smarter. Some people are saying this is more effective. It adds a $4,000 bonus deduction to the standard deduction for anyone 65 years old or older. So individuals who are earning under $75,000 a year, couples filing jointly under $150,000 per year, they get a full $4,000 tax break starting this year, retroactively for 2025. So guys, this means millions of seniors, many of whom don't even don't even itemize, they will now get an instant tax buffer. And because it's tied to your standard deduction, more people qualify, even those who never saw tax relief before. And here is the kicker. Nobody saw this coming. This provision wasn't leaked. It wasn't teased in a campaign rally. It just dropped. This is a straight up surprise win for seniors. And trust me, guys, like we're just getting started because this bill doesn't stop at seniors. I want to show you how Trump's team designed this bill to flip Gavin Newsom's entire welfare strategy upside down and finally put some Americans, some working class Americans first here. You're not going to want to miss what happens. So let's take a pause for a second and let's kind of absorb what's happening here. You got Gavin Newsom. He's out here spending the last few years funneling billions of dollars into programs for non-citizens, expanding welfare to illegal immigrants and bankrupting the state while doing it. And who got left behind? Well, of course, the seniors, the taxpayers, the workers, right? Meanwhile, President Trump's Social Security bill does the exact opposite. This Social Security bill basically cuts off the handouts to those who never paid in. And instead, it hands a $4,000 tax boost directly to the Americans who actually earned it. So this is what flipping the script looks like. Gavin Newsom gave money away like it grew on trees, okay? Trump's team, they're trying to put it back where it belongs, back into the hands of citizens who worked, who paid taxes, who built this country. But this bill does not just stop with the seniors. No, actually, Trump's economic revenge tour, it includes massive new relief for working class Americans, freelancers, gig workers, small business owners, 1099 folks. So 3 words: no tax tips. You heard that right, guys. This bill exempts tips from federal income tax for workers in industries where tipping is the norm. Waiters, bartenders, delivery drivers, doormen. You keep 100% of your tips. No more IRS skimming off the top. And it gets even better than that. Overtime pay, tax-free. Car loan interest, tax deductible. Pass-through small business income, bigger deductions. And remember, these are all things that Democrats made fun of Trump for promising on the campaign trail. They said it was impossible. They said it would bankrupt the country. But here we are, and it's written in the bill. And just when you think it couldn't get any more America first, what if I told you that President Trump's team included some provisions to block illegal immigrants from accessing these benefits entirely? Oh, yeah. So now here's where President Trump's bill goes from powerful to historic, because it doesn't just help Americans. It also makes sure your taxpayer dollars stop going to the people who shouldn't have even been getting them in the first place. For years, illegal immigrants have received subsidies, credits, even access to government-funded health care and tax refunds. And most politicians either denied it or they just looked the other way. But this bill here actually locks it down. So here's what it says. It requires a Social Security number to claim any tax credits or deductions. It ends the Medicare and Obamacare subsidies for undocumented immigrants. It adds fees to remittances sent out of the country by illegals. In plain English, guys, if you're not here legally, you don't get the taxpayer benefits, period. That's it. No more loopholes, no more quiet handouts while Americans suffer. And that's just the financial part. Actually, the message is even louder. Like, if you didn't contribute to the system, you're not going to get to drain it. And that brings us to what may probably be the most overlooked, but most important part of this bill here. It's not just about dollars and cents. It's about who this particular country is meant to serve. And that's where this next piece hits home. So let's talk about the real meaning behind this legislation and why it's already being called one of the boldest pro-America economic bills in decades. Now, this isn't just a tax bill. This is a declaration. This is a declaration that citizens matter again, that America's wealth belongs to the people who built it, not to some foreign governments, not to illegal immigrants, not to billionaires hiding behind these tax shelters. No, President Trump's economic team designed this bill to correct decades of betrayal. While politicians like Gavin Newsom of California pandered to activists and overseas interests, Trump's bill writes the rules in favor of workers, retirees, parents, small business owners. It doesn't hand out free stuff. It hands back what was already yours. So this is about fairness. And comment down below if you think that this is about fairness as well. It's about flipping the system from the bottom up. It's about making sure your effort, your work, your sacrifice actually counts for something again. And now, with this bill on the floor and Gavin Newsom's failures laid bare, the American people are finally given a choice. Government for the elites or government for the everyday citizen. And based on what we're seeing, guys, I think that choice is becoming clearer by the hour. So, where do we go from here? I mean, let's call this moment what this really is. I think it's vindication. For years, we've been told that putting Americans first was selfish. That standing up for your paycheck, your retirement, your borders, your family, that was somehow offensive. While Gavin Newsom was throwing your money at failed social experiments, blaming others for his mess, you were tightening your belt. You were cutting back. You were working harder, working more hours. And now, finally, somebody listened. And they didn't just listen, they delivered. This is the America First agenda in action. This is the moment where the taxpayer stops getting punished, starts getting protected. Newsom failed, Trump delivered. One man made promises to illegals. The other, he just gave working Americans a $4,000 break. Now, y'all let me know, guys. If this sounds like a step in the right direction, please hit that like button. Let YouTube know that this truth deserves to be heard. And also drop me a quick comment now and tell me yes or no. Do you support the $4,000 Social Security boost? Should more states be held accountable like California? And if you're sick of being lied to and you're ready to stand up for America's working class, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Because this fight, ladies and gentlemen, it's just getting started. Believe me, I'm going to keep you updated every step of the way. Until then, stay informed, stay loud, stay free. Oh, and do not forget to reach out to our friends over at Chapter. See how much money they can save you on your Medicare. And if, of course, if your parents are over 65, maybe grandparents, reach out to Chapter on their behalf. Maybe they don't even know that Chapter could save money for them. Till next time, guys, we'll see you on the next one.